There you go.
That's it.
Today, we're fortunate enough to be out here at Bangor City Forest, getting to do a little bit of mountain biking. It's a beautiful location that gives us immediate access to a variety of trails. We can just get out and ride, or we can challenge ourselves and find some more technical riding. Turbo is for like, we have to get back, okay? So we're gonna start in eco.
Oh, it's awesome being able to get out and get exercise and being able to be out in the woods and pedaling around, seeing all the sights. It's really fun. It's really awesome having Enoch and any other older athlete because they have experience. They show me the ropes and all the new stuff that they've learned. And like Enoch, he's taught me mostly everything I know about rock climbing and mountain biking. He's helped me a lot throughout this.
I flipped twice.
I made it, but I almost flipped.
Yep, that was rough.
Cycling is more about exploration, getting out on trails that are really built for what I like to do, and it's more accessible because you have a machine that can do a lot of the work for you. So it really opens up a lot of territory.
I actually got to ski with Enoch my first winter while he was a part of our Maine Adaptive's race team in the winter time. So I got to try to keep up with Enoch down the race course at Sunday River and Black Mountain and Sugarloaf. One of the selling points for me with Maine Adaptive was not just that it's volunteers and a small team of staff, but that there are a number of individuals that also have disabilities that may have grown up through Maine Adaptive or elsewhere, but now they're giving back the skills that they learned as they grew into sports. That level of mentorship from Enoch to Callan, as an example, is very powerful and very noticeable from anybody that sees the two of them out on their adventures.
I was born with spina bifida. I grew up far northern Maine in a little town called Patton, and about 900 people. And so I was really the only person for miles around that I know of who was a wheelchair user. I grew up in the woods in a log cabin that my dad actually built from the logs on the land. So I've really been in the outdoors pretty much my whole life. And that's really formed a lot of the things that I do in life, from rock climbing to skydiving, flying airplanes, and everything in between. Along the way, I've climbed El Capitan, and I've climbed here in Maine and New Hampshire, and Joshua Tree National Park, and all over the country. And so I want people to try these things because I know what it brings to my life. It brings, well, health and wellness for one thing, but it's the enjoyment of being outside and pushing yourself and seeing how far you can go, and just having those experiences of seeing the world. I've gotten to see a lot of this country just because I decided to go rock climbing. So having a more full life, really, it really has brought a lot to my life, and so I want to bring that to other people's lives. When I started on this journey of adventure, it was inspired by the loss of a friend on Mount Rainier, and so I've been trying to get up Mount Rainier for probably over 10 years now. But that's also sparked a lot of other ideas along the way. So I've been trying to cycle across the Grand Canyon from the north rim to the south rim, and it's that sense of adventure and it's that sense of exploration and being able to see things.
Adventures like Enoch is describing, the biggest help that is to what we're doing and what adaptive organizations around the country are doing is it's increasing representation for how people can take the skills that they learn at adaptive programming and use those skills to go out independently and pursue big dreams and goals in the outdoors. And knowing that while it might take some different resources and equipment, that those adventures are out there for the taking for anyone regardless of what their disability status is. Challenges we face in terms of ensuring that access remains present for the population of people with disabilities are really, it starts with physical barriers, but then it also reaches as far as financial barriers, transportation barriers, because the world, unfortunately, was built with one type of person in mind, and so Maine Adaptive has to try really hard to advocate to share that there are more than one type of person out there. There's more than one type of body who's out recreating, and so it's kind of our job to shed light on that, and that looks like just being out there with our programs, cycling, mountain biking, climbing, skiing, and showing like, hey, we're out here, we're doing it, even though it's filled with barriers and it might look a little different.
So my name is Daisy Roush. I am a monoskier. I have complex regional pain syndrome, and I just started skiing this year. Yeah, so I never saw myself getting into skiing, so I'm really enjoying that, and I'm also planning like this coming year to do the pickleball and the tennis, and I saw they offer like all this stuff like canoeing. I was like, heck yeah, I want to do it all.
I'm Kate Versluis. I'm from Sabattis, Maine. I got introduced to adaptive sports through the rec therapist at the VA in Togus. I did 12 years in the Navy. I was over in the Gulf War. I was 61 the first time I did anything with Maine Adaptive. And I pretty much thought all my athletic stuff was done for life. Through Maine Adaptive, I've been snowshoeing, skiing, rock climbing, kayaking, and bike riding. So it's been a lot of fun. It gets me out of the house and keeps me active. When I'm climbing, I'm concentrating, and then I'll hit a point where it's just like, oh, I'm so close, and then it's an adrenaline rush. You get up there, and then coming down is just like this huge, it's like you want to scream because it's just exciting.
I think it's wonderful that there are people here that have all different needs, and they accommodate that. They give them the opportunity to accomplish something that you wouldn't normally do. I think every time I make the top of the wall, I've become a little, it feels like I'm being empowered, I guess is the only word I can use.
It's a thrill, not only for Thomas, but for everyone who's watching him. Just to see the determination and the thinking that he's doing on the way up as he reaches for each handhold or foothold. It's really quite remarkable. It's a thrill when he touches, not only the first time, but every single time.
I was a lift operator at Sunday River for a while, and I was heavily involved in the ski industry. And when my conditions became too much for me to handle as far as snowboarding, able-bodied, I came to Maine Adaptive right away without even missing a season to learn how to sit ski. So I've been sit skiing now for 6 years, and I ski on a monoski, and I absolutely love it. It gave me my freedom and allowed me to keep the freedom that I had from snowboarding without missing anything. The community is unlike any other that I've experienced before. I go to certain events without a big plan, and the community comes forward and scoops me up, makes sure that I'm stable, make sure that we have everything that we need in order to have the best time possible. The adaptive sports world is when the solo sport of skiing becomes more of a community group effort together where we're all supporting each other, and that's really beautiful.
The fact that Maine in particular is so embracing of adaptive sports, I think just goes a long way, because it's so empowering to realize you're capable of more than you thought you were. And I think that that's true of able-bodied people, and it's true of people with disabilities. And I think it's such a great vehicle to just kind of expand someone's mind of what else is possible.
Accessibility to me matters because it gets me out of my house. So without sports, without being able to be active and getting out, I'd be in my house doing nothing. I'd be sitting there doing nothing. So this has really given me the opportunity to get out and actually like enjoy nature, because I can't otherwise. I mean, if you can't get out and you don't have anything offering to you, what are you gonna do?
Maine Adaptive is really a lifeline to starting new adventures and having new beginnings.
My name's Dan Tilton. I am Kellen's dad. I met Maine Adaptive when Kellen was 4 years old, which was practically 9 years ago now. We've met lots of great people, and then we've been involved with them since day one. A couple of things that Kellen enjoys most about life. One, he loves people and being around them. He's a very socially active kid. He just loves being active outside. If he could be outside all day long every day, he would be. And with Maine Adaptive, he's been able to do so many things that we couldn't do for him.
I remember the first day I ever talked about being able to ski or stuff or skate or mountain bike, and I thought I would not be able to do that. But then my mom found Maine Adaptive, and then later that year during the winter, I got out and was able to ski for the first time ever, and I was absolutely stoked about it. I was so excited.
Being a paraplegic or being the father of a paraplegic child, there's some challenges. When they want to participate in sports or activities outside, oftentimes the equipment is extremely expensive. And those financial resources aren't unlimited for us and aren't unlimited for other families in the state of Maine. And Maine Adaptive in their program has fundraised and spent so much time thinking about kids and adults like Kellen. They've invested in those resources and make them available to everybody to use at no charge. It's just amazing what they do.
The availability of adaptive sports, whether that's instruction or equipment or access to sports and activities here in the state, is growing, but still has a long way to go. We have lots of wait lists for a number of our programs. That could be due to either not enough instructors, not enough venue space, not enough equipment. So there's so much room for so many more. The lifeblood of our organization are the volunteers. They're what keep everything going. Without our volunteers, none of it happens, because they're the ones that are motivating the riders when we're cycling or skiing, whatever the sport might be. We are fortunate enough to be able to provide opportunities for either a one-on-one or group setting for our students using those volunteers.
If it wasn't for the volunteers, I don't think this program could exist, that's for sure. And to have so many people that are so kind, it inspires you, I think, to be a better person all the way around even. You know, it's just nice, it's really good.
When I started the day to paddle out here, I was a little nervous about, first of all, the length of the paddle, because I don't think I've ever done more than maybe a couple miles. When we got closer to the beach, the wind started coming up and the waves started getting bigger. So that was a bit of a concern. But really, I was just excited because I really love being able to take things slowly and see nature and see all the beautiful shoreline. It really was a beautiful experience getting out here. Last spring, I worked for the Northern Forest Canoe Trail people to check out campsites along the Allagash Wilderness Waterway to see how accessible they were. And then some interns took on the task of taking my recommendations and putting them into practice and making some sites for people with disabilities to be able to paddle at least some sections of the Allagash Wilderness Waterway, and hopefully eventually we'll be able to do the whole thing. Right now we're at Chamberlain Lake at Gravel Beach campsite, and this is one of the sites that we actually surveyed back in June. So we decided to come out here and just see if I could paddle that far, for one thing. 6 miles was definitely my biggest paddle ever. And so now we're out here just spending the night to see how a person with a disability can function in this environment, and maybe get some more people to come out here eventually. People with disabilities, it's a big thing to have information before you leave the house about where you're going, because there's a lot of things, a lot of unknowns. So when we get there, are we going to be able to access the thing we want to do? Are we going to have a bathroom we can use? Are we going to have all the other things that everyone else takes for granted? And being able to show people that you truly can come out here and you truly can have an accessible experience and enjoy nature and enjoy pushing your limits a little bit. A 6 mile paddle is quite a lot for most people. And so I think showing people that it is possible will maybe inspire them to do even other things, like climb mountains like I do, and all the other things that I get to do, because once you create that spark, you can see it in people's eyes when they get it, and then they start trying other things, and it's really a cool thing to see.
It's amazing to me how many people don't understand that kids and adults like Kellen love to be outside and want to do things, and it just doesn't register with a lot of people. So Maine Adaptive and some of his experiences that we get to share with family and friends expose them to this whole world that they may not be familiar with. They get to see what it's really like and understand some of the challenges, but how awesome these successes are that he gets to participate in all the time.
I am a really big fan of mono skiing. I've been doing it for 9 years, and my big goal is to be able to go to the Paralympics. And then also, I would like to be able to help other people do it too.